It's on now. Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Matt Ritter doing a mic check. Right now on the National Weather Desk.
Everybody, get downstairs if you're out here. Stay safe.
A tornado outbreak across the Midwest leaves a path of destruction in its wake.
I mean, that's a nasty, nasty, nasty tornado right there.
Plus hailstones so large they could break all-time records. And now those storms bring a new threat to tens of millions of people. Winter's last gasp? Up to 4 feet of snow could fall in Washington State's mountains.
As a series of winter storms will bring near whiteout conditions.
As ice jams clog New England rivers, we'll explain how they form.
Blocking the flow of the water and leading it to overflow.
Plus the unusually warm winter's impact on tourism in Lake Tahoe.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
And good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Matt Ritter. Severe storms rolled across the Midwest and South last night. The National Weather Service has reports of 10 tornadoes, most in Indiana and Illinois.
That's a tornado.
There it is, right there. This is right here, River Road area. Everybody, get downstairs if you're out here. Stay safe. People in their cars are crazy. I'm going downstairs now.
And that's how people in Illinois describe the tornadoes as they touched down early Tuesday evening. At least 4 twisters left a trail of damage across the region about an hour south of Chicago. The winds knocked down trees and damaged homes. Crews spent the night searching for victims, but so far there are no reports of serious injuries or deaths. Our storm chaser Brett Adair was in the middle of all of it, and this is how he reacted in real time.
Big, massive tornado. Oh, look at that debris in the air. I mean, that's a nasty, nasty, nasty tornado right there.
Well, the rain curtains coming around are stout.
I know, that's what I'm worried about. Big time tornado. Yeah, it's wedging now. All right, that's circulation, that's tornado. Right here on the road, right beside us. Yep.
The storm also dropped large hail across the region. The National Weather Service says the largest was 6 inches in diameter, which may be an Illinois state record. Massive hailstones also fell in Texas and Oklahoma. This video was taken near San Antonio. In the Oklahoma City area, there were also several tornado reports, but no injuries or deaths. We have one more day of possible severe weather this week. The Storm Prediction Center issuing a level 2 out of 5 risk for the area in yellow. More than 67 million people live here, from Houston to New Orleans and in the south to Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. in the mid-Atlantic. Supercells are expected to bring large hail, damaging wind, and a risk of a few tornadoes. Now, you saw the huge hail. How does all that huge hail form? Meteorologist Eric Estrella takes us inside strong thunderstorms.
Well, as severe weather season ramps up, we are going to see quite a bit of hail reports in the coming days with those severe thunderstorms. And this time of the year usually provides us a better opportunity at hail because we are in that season of change. We have colder temperatures a little bit closer to the ground while the ground is heating up at least a little bit more than, of course, you would see during the winter. Now, the reason we see hail form any time of the year, but especially right now, is because as those updrafts get a little bit stronger, we're warming up the ground and we're seeing those updrafts actually a little bit more significant than what you may see with some of those thunderstorms earlier in the year. It allows for these water droplets to actually be pushed above the freezing level, and that freezing level is pretty low towards the ground, so it doesn't take much of that lift and support of these rain showers and of these water droplets to get them to freeze and start to form those hailstones. And of course, the stronger the updraft, the more likely you are going to get those bigger hailstones until it is heavy enough and falls out of the storm. Now, of course, the stronger the updraft, the more likely you are going to have those more significant severe hailstones that could cause damage.
Well, communities in Michigan and Oklahoma are still cleaning up following last Friday's deadly tornado outbreak. Autumn Pichur is in Union City, Michigan, with a remarkable story of how one family survived.
Honestly, yes, I thought I was going to die.
Michelle McGillis says her life flashed before her eyes, looking outside to see a giant tornado headed right towards her and her dad.
And I told my dad, I was like, I think that thing jumped on water, Dad. We got to start ducking for cover.
Watching as the tornado took out home after home on Prairie Rose Lane. It was on top of them in a matter of seconds.
So you didn't have any time.
I dove right underneath that kitchen table. Me and my dad both did.
McGillis says she could feel the 150-mile-per-hour winds lifting her body into the air.
I was afraid. I was scared. I thought for sure I was going to get ripped away from my dad.
A tree landing on their car and home. Almost the rest of it was swept away. McGillis and her dad trapped under rubble. To her surprise, though, McGillis still had her phone in her pocket and was able to call 911 for help.
They can see me and my dad hold our hands up. I can hear a few people saying the roads are blocked, so we're trying to get to you guys.
Both were rescued quickly, devastated by what they saw once they were free.
People across the region are still looking for pets that went missing during Friday's tornado. Princess Jane Steverson spoke to those who are looking and animal rescue experts about planning for pet safety ahead of severe weather.
Neighbors in Union City say several animals were found after last week's deadly EF3 tornado, but some did not survive.
And I ended up involved making a sweep, looking still for some missing pets. They had thermal imaging drones in here for the purpose of looking for pets.
Val Rossman says her friend was one of the people killed by the tornado. 65-year-old Penny Jo Guthrie, who had several animals inside her home when the storm hit.
There's quite a collection of exotic birds in Penny's house who perished, and still missing a couple cats.
Days later, neighbors are still hoping some animals might turn up alive. Rossman says the search has included people walking through debris and even checking reports on social media of animals spotted around town.
The other, priceless thing we don't think about is the pets. I have a pet, believe it or not, quail, but I had grabbed him and taken him to the basement.
Animal rescues say storms like this are also a reminder to prepare pets before severe weather hits. SPCA of Southwest Michigan Executive Director Katie Timber says having a plan, especially for those who do not have basements, can really help keep animals safe during emergencies. Prepare a pet emergency go bag. Include medications and medical records. Pack food and water for several days. Keep a leash, bowls, and supplies ready. Have a recent photo with your pet.
Now to the other extreme. Blizzard warnings are posted for Washington state's mountains as an atmospheric river could dump up to 4 feet of snow at the highest elevations. Meteorologist Stella Sun is outside Seattle with details.
In the Cascade Mountains,
it started hailing, and then when it got closer, and then it started snowing.
A fresh coat of winter white is blanketing the peaks. But on Interstate 90,
it was wet, but not snowy, so it was no problem.
Drivers going over the mountain passes say
it's pretty mellow because usually there's a lot more snow on the road, a lot more problems, a lot more issues.
But a lot more issues are coming as a series of winter storms will bring near whiteout conditions. 1 to 4 feet of snow and powerful 30 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts will impact the mountains through Friday.
There's spinouts and delays, and with the combination of weather elements at that point, there might be a forced closure.
WashDOT says if travel conditions on I-90 Snoqualmie Pass, Highway 2 Stevens Pass, Highway 12 White Pass, and other roads in the Cascade and Olympic Mountains get really bad, they will redirect snow plows from other regions to help out.
If you have to be on the road, then just make sure that you plan for extra time.
As winter weather returns with a vengeance, drivers hope that others will ease up on the gas pedal.
That is always my concern, is watching out for other people who are going too fast.
Well, episode 43 of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano's ongoing eruptions started and ended yesterday. The volcano has been spewing lava on and off since December of 2024. Yesterday's episode lasted about 9 hours. The lava fountain stretched 1,100 feet into the air with the plume reaching 15,000 feet. That led Hawaiian Airlines to cancel 7 flights between Honolulu and the Big Island. And more than a quarter inch of ash accumulation is expected. The Hawaii Volcanoes National Park summit area remains closed to the public. And coming up on the National Weather Desk, temperatures are warming up. We'll find out what this means for ice cover on the Great Lakes. And you're probably seeing more potholes on the road this time of year. We'll explain why.
I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with Look at the Northeast. We're tracking a huge range in temperatures in the Northeast. Today, parts of northern New England will stay in the 30s and 40s, even some 20s. Other parts of the Northeast will get into the 60s today. We've been tracking a front slowly working its way south. Then it's coming back as a warm front during the course of our Wednesday and Wednesday night. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're seeing showers, maybe a rumble of thunder back into New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. There's a little bit of freezing rain in northern New England. We should see improvement going into Thursday.
Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax with a look at the mid-Atlantic region. Throughout the day, there will be the chance of strong to severe storms as the next weather maker arrives. Then as we head into Thursday and a cold front moves across the region, some showers are possible. It'll lead to a big cool down into the weekend. Temperatures stay above average, rising to the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s this afternoon. Then after that front, get ready for a cool down. Lows will drop to the 30s and 40s overnight.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Collins with a look at your southeast forecast. Unseasonably warm across parts of the southeast heading into Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-80s across parts of the Carolinas, near 90 degrees in central and south Florida in the middle 80s. We are tracking the threat for a few strong to severe storms across parts of the Mississippi River Valley through Wednesday afternoon. This moves its way into portions of Mississippi and Alabama overnight into Thursday morning. This same front crosses Florida heading into Friday, bringing in our next chance of rain into the start of the weekend.
The National Weather Desk celebrates 250 years of amazing America.
Officials just outside Vermont's state capital are watching an ice jam along the Mad River as temperatures continue to warm. The region remains under a flood watch through tomorrow. Unier Martinez is here with more.
The Mad River in Moortown is making its presence known. Massive sheets of ice, some the size of cars, creating a scene that makes you feel like you're in the Arctic.
It's pretty frightening.
Especially when it's happening right outside your home. Christina Bispy has lived along the Mad River for 5 years, but she's never seen this.
It's not just the sight, it's the sound. You know, the groaning and the intensity of it.
Just feet away, Moortown Emergency Director Stefan Pratt is keeping watch.
Every 2 hours.
Overnight Monday, the ice jam finally broke free upstream before getting stuck again about a quarter of a mile away. And while water is still running underneath the ice, what happens next is anyone's guess.
There's not a lot you can do because, you know, the water level could rise up and it could wash everything away, or it could just continue to be where it's at.
Hope we don't have a winter quite this severe again.
Upstream in Waitsfield, the ice there has started to break apart, but emergency crews say the biggest message right now is stay away from the river.
It may look solid, but underneath you don't know what's there. So keep your distance from the river.
Back at Christina's home, she's hoping and praying for the best.
Best case scenario is it just keeps going and doesn't come across the road.
So how do ice jams form? Syracuse meteorologist Violet Schreiber has more.
There are many different types of flooding, but in the spring, it most commonly occurs from ice jams. These form when the weather starts to warm up, breaking apart the ice in creeks, rivers, and streams. And as the ice flow is pushed downstream, it can become lodged in tighter curved areas, blocking the flow of the water and leading it to overflow. Ice jams can last for several days of flooding. But how often do these occur in New York State? Well, over the past 20 years, we've had 261 reports of ice jams. Less in the past 10 years, only 74 reports, but that's just because we've had some mild winters. This winter is a lot colder than previous ones, but more typical for central New York. This year, we've already had one report of an ice jam on January 26th at the West Canada Creek in Newport, New York.
And as the official end of the winter season approaches, some folks along the Great Lakes are still venturing out onto the ice. But with temperatures warming, officials are warning anglers that the risk may not be worth the catch. Eric Peterson has more from Green Bay.
It's definitely slowing down out there as far as fishermen attempting to get out on the ice. The ice is deteriorating. The shallower bays, Little Sturgeon, Riley's Bay, Sawyer Harbor, those bays are still fishable, walkable.
Howie's Tackle and Archery co-owner Lance Levine says with anywhere from 12 to 30 inches of ice, it's been a relatively good season on the waters of Green Bay.
This year, you know, the old timers remember, this is a normally ice fishing year. We should have ice like this. We're used to having ice like this, like 10 years ago and beyond.
Levine says spring weather is approaching and warm temperatures typically impact the landings first.
You have to really watch the shorelines are deteriorating. There's some shallow reefs, some shallow humps, some points that you never go over, and those are really, really bad right now.
A little further to the south, a lone angler fishes off the landing at Bonnie's Place. Open water was spotted in the area, and U.S. Coast Guard icebreaking operations are on the horizon.
Once the icebreaker comes, now the ice can really shift and move with a lot of different wind directions. Yeah. You know, not just those southerly winds or east winds, any wind direction it can move.
And warmer weather also means pothole season is arriving in New England. Rhode Island meteorologist A.J. Mastrangelo takes a closer look at these road menaces and how they form.
Beginning of the winter and even through the midwinter season, we had lots of temperatures just below the freezing mark. And of course, that was actually good for our pothole situation. It's when we see those freeze-thaw conditions where we see our potholes develop and worsen, of course, with the plows and with cars passing on through. So let's talk about how potholes form. Water seeps in through the cracks in the road, which collects underneath the road surface. And what that does, well, it softens the road base here. You can see the rock base, the soil, and that pavement surface. Now, not all roads are built like this, but this is the general way that potholes do develop. Now, as we see temperatures go back below freezing, that water freezes and expands. And what that does, well, it forces the pavement upward. So it creates essentially a hole or a crack. And after that water subsides, that is where the hole is left. And you can see it here right on the ground. looks exactly like a pothole you would see on some of your side roads, hopefully not the highways, but they have a few of them as well. And as we continue to see plows, cars pass on through some of these holes, well, the roads essentially collapse under that. So the continuous traffic, that expands the hole and makes it worse and worse, unfortunately. And with those plows chipping it as well, we can see those potholes expand as well. So as we talk about pothole season, some tips for the roadways. Well, avoiding standing water. Of course, lots of melting, some rain. Don't drive through puddles because you don't know exactly what's under it. You can hit a pothole relatively quickly. Increasing your following distance is also a good idea because the person in front of you can hit a pothole, but if you're right behind them, you're likely going to hit it. If you're giving yourself more space, you may be able to see that before you hit it. Don't swerve or brake hard last minute. Of course, that can cause an accident. You actually don't want to brake when you're going over the pothole.
And the Lake Tahoe community, which depends heavily on tourism, is feeling the strain. Despite several large snowstorms, the region is only at 60% of median snowpack. Recent rain and warm temperatures are now shrinking that snowpack even more. Kim Burrows visited Lake Tahoe to see how this unusual winter is impacting tourism and businesses.
It looks like a postcard-perfect afternoon, a bluebird sky over Lake Tahoe, people soaking up 60-degree sunshine. But it's March. Instead of fresh powder and winter coats, we're seeing shorts and bikinis.
We packed our ski gear, but then when we got here and saw the snow conditions, we chose to just leave everything packed and make other plans.
Tahoe City is not necessarily a snow town these days.
In early March, you'd likely see more snow on the ground, but as people come into town this year, this is where they're going to find it, piled up on the side of the road.
The ski resorts are all open, but the less than ideal winter conditions are not enticing as many tourists in Tahoe.
We were commenting how quiet the town is.
It seems pretty sparse up here. I mean, there's just not a lot of people.
Slice of puff.
Desperately slow. It's very quiet.
At Mountain Slice, the ovens are warm, but the foot traffic isn't always.
Usually probably at least like 60 or so, like 100 maybe. But today it's been like 5.
Other businesses around town say they're feeling it too, and lodging occupancy is down as well. But there is a silver lining to the slow winter. With spring arriving early, local leaders are betting a new wave of visitors will trade snow boots for hiking shoes and head back to Tahoe.
Spring in Tahoe is awesome because you can ski in the morning and then go do something else in the afternoon. So whether you want to go kayaking or hiking or just be out and about in town, there's plenty here and we're ready for the visitors to come on up.
Tourists say whether it's snow-covered or sun-soaked, Tahoe never runs out of ways to explore.
It's kind of a little bit of a bummer that there isn't as much snow here to play in, but Tahoe is still gorgeous no matter what season it is.
Whether you're hoping for a miracle March with more snow or these temps have you craving more spring weather.
I think a lot of people want more snow, but most of my friends are like, I can't wait for summer.
One thing is clear, Lake Tahoe doesn't wait for the weather to shine.
As we head to break, a look at Utah's Great Salt Lake, the largest saltwater lake in the Western Hemisphere, even though it's shrunk by over 2/3 since the 80s.
Well, a very good Wednesday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. We've got the storm system moving across the Midwest. We've got a few snow showers across the mid to upper Midwest, and then some strong thunderstorms moving their way across the Ohio Valley and lower Great Lakes today. Tomorrow, we'll get another round of some rain-snow mix here to the far north. That will kind of stay to the north up near the Great Lakes as we head into Friday.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Alex Garcia. Here's a look at your regional weather. Temperatures on the cool side early this morning. Had a system go through with some pretty good sized thunderstorms. Now it's just rain. Cooler air sliding in. The bigger storms moving into East Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Otherwise, temperatures are going to stay on the cool side for the most of the day. I'm meteorologist Alex Garcia. That's a look at your regional weather.
I'm George Waldenberger with your forecast for the western United States. We're warming back up to the 80s in Phoenix and Las Vegas. Still pretty cold in Jackson, Wyoming. Windy here on the east side of the northern Rockies. But the main storm system, the main story, the rain and mountain snow over the Pacific Northwest. That mountain snow will extend into Idaho and portions of Montana. That is the scene from out here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
And now that it's warming up in parts of the country, that means it's time for more fishing. Meteorologist Kit Alexander explains.
Now that we're starting to see some more warm days in the eastern part of the United States, we can start thinking a little bit more about fishing and so forth on some of those area lakes and rivers and so forth. And we are getting a little bit warmer weather. So there's a couple things to look for here as we're thinking about fishing and forecast-wise, and I know fishermen know this all too well, but a couple things that's really important. Number one, as you get the sunshine and the warmer weather, well, that kind of helps to warm up those shallow areas of water. Well, that's good for bass and bluegill because ultimately the fish's metabolism is based on the water temperature. So as the temperature of the water warms up, that triggers feeding activity. It gets the fish more active. The lowering of pressure also helps to trigger feeding activity. So that's just kind of a couple things to look for when we're talking about the fishing forecast.
And we'd love to share your weather content on the air. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search the National Weather Desk. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm meteorologist Matt Ritter. Make it a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow for the National Weather Desk.